It's always something different. That's what I like about it. You never know what's going to happen or what's going to get called in that you're going to respond to. So it's got that factor.
Whenever I'm going through my academy classes and stuff, that I'm constantly thinking about the risks that are incumbent in this job, and I just overcome those anxieties and those fears by realizing, I'm being trained, this is why I'm here, and just being aware of those risks as I'm out there doing the work. The way I see it is very much like how I was in the military. Whenever I'm out there on mission, I'm on the job, I'm thinking about keeping my head in the game, so to speak. I can't let the distraction of family inhibit my ability of doing the job while I'm out there. I just have to do what I can while I'm at home, spend my time with my family, and be a good dad, be a good husband, and stuff that way while I'm out in the streets, I'm secure in what I'm doing. Well, whenever I was in high school, I was part of the Job and Police Explorers. After that, I went into the military. I was an Army military police soldier. And then after I got out of the military, I came back home. I worked for probation and parole for almost 3 years and decided I want to get on the streets and do a little bit more proactive law enforcement work. And Job and Police Department is a really good agency that I wanted to go work for, so they were where I went. Kind of had this sense of wanting to serve a higher purpose and serving my country and serving my community, and going out there and doing good things.
Job on 911, where is your emergency?
So you have to be able to multitask. Like you've got somebody talking to you on the phone and the fire truck's talking to you on the radio. You have to be able to listen to both and hear what they're both saying. They'll be taking a call from a citizen and putting it into the computer, what they're saying, and thinking about what's the next question you're going to ask them about this call. And then an officer may call you and want you to run a person or want you to run a license plate or something. So you tell the person in your ear, hold on just a minute, and you can type whatever the officer needs into the computer, and you either give it back to him right then, or tell the officer I'm running it, and go back and answer a couple more questions or talk to your caller. But they don't always stop talking. So sometimes they're still talking to you, and so you have to be able to listen to them and to listen to the officer. With our center, we're just big enough to get the job done, but we're small enough we can pay attention to what everybody else is doing. Maybe a cancer patient, or for some reason, they woke up and maybe found a family member deceased. We've all dealt with those. We just tell everyone, you have to follow your training. You do what you're training, what we trained you, how to train you, or to get through these situations. And then, if you need to take a minute later and go to the back and have a minute by yourself, that's fine. The toughest calls are any calls dealing with children. We've all had those calls. And so anybody that gets upset dealing with those, nobody in here is going to fault them for that, because we've all dealt with it. You kind of have to shut your emotions off, and you do what you have to do, and then when it calms down, take a minute, go to the back, have a minute yourself. You need to go outside, and a lot of people can't deal with that. When you've got the public the help they need at the end of the day, and you got it there as quick as you could, then you've done a good, you've had a good day.
For day shift, we pretty much come in get here at 7 o'clock, get people ready for court. We take sometime between 10, maybe up to 30 to court a day. They go see the judge, come back. It's mostly like chaos pretty much during the daytime because they're moving back and forth, bringing them. Our courtroom is in the next part of the area right over there. We have a ton of inmates in here at one time. We cuff them, bring them on over, then book people that come in while we're dealing with court. It's all constant process. When I first came to Missouri, I came here because Hurricane Katrina brought me here. I have an uncle that lived in Missouri at the time, and with all the chaos back there, we decided to relocate. I had a set of twins. One of my twins had some health problems, so we was back and forth from Children's Mercy. She had open heart surgery. So after all that got settled, they started school, so I wasn't pretty much a stay-at-home mom anymore, so I had to find something to do. I was looking in the paper and then saw an ad for a corrections officer. It's like, oh, I wonder, that might be neat. I'm already going to school for criminal justice, so maybe get my foot in the door. So I started doing that, and I liked it. 9.5 years later, I'm still here. I want our jailers to go up, ask them their name, ask them some medical intake questions. After they ask them the questions, we tell them to put their forehead on the wall. We search them, take cuffs off them, put new cuffs on them in the front, take the cuffs from behind their back, put them in the front, and have them sit on the bench. And then we start the booking process, asking them the questions, where was their address, and everything like that. So when they come in, we put their belongings in the box right there, the box on the end of that desk. And then we go through it, label it, put their name, the box number, their name here, the officers that's sealing it. Everything in that box will be listed here. Okay. We seal it up and put it in a property box, and then we lock it up in our property closet. Some people could come in here off the street and be drunk, but behave normal. Yeah. Like nothing's wrong with them. We'll get them booked in right then and there. But then some you have to take a little time with. They shower out, the shower's around the corner, and then they go to the back.
Thing that got me into being in law enforcement was I always remember being a little kid, you know, riding the school bus and seeing a state trooper or a police car fly by, and I always was wondering, it's like, what are those guys, you know, where are they going, what are they doing? So that kind of stuck with me throughout my childhood, and it was one of the things I always wanted to do. I'd always wanted to work a police dog. That was one of my things from a little kid that I always wanted to do, and so I knew that Joplin had a pretty good dog program just from research and stuff, and had some friends that worked here, so got with them, kind of found out what it took to be a handler, and you know, basically kind of took a leap of faith and left the job that I had and came up here in hopes of being a canine handler. And after about 2 years, a position came open and tested for it, and Pax and I became partners. So we've been doing it for, this will be our 5th year together. So you always hear people talk about taking their work home with them, and I mean with him, I mean you really do. I mean, he's with you, you know, 40 plus hours a week at work, and then I mean he's with you every day at home too. And I mean, you've got to prepare your day basically around him. You know, he's got a feeding schedule that you got to keep, you know, vet appointments, and, you know, he takes supplements to keep his joints and everything in good shape, you know, to prolong his work life. So, I mean, he's got a pretty good schedule that you got to keep, and then especially like if you go out of town or on vacation, you got to plan ahead and make sure, you know, he's taken care of. So that's always in the back of your mind. So it's a very close bond, because I mean, he's always in the back of your mind. You know, it's basically like another member of your family that you're taking care of. So I mean, you have that closeness. A lot of people just view them as a dog with a job, but I mean, he's actually like, he's a member of my family. I feel totally comfortable bringing him to work with me, knowing that if something goes bad, that he's right there, and he's gonna be in it with me. We have been in some pretty hairy situations, and he's saved me, from being assaulted. We found numerous people that could have assaulted us or other officers, that were hiding, whether it be in a house or in a field or in the woods. It's hard to describe the pride that you have whenever he finds somebody who would otherwise not be found or otherwise could injure another officer or someone in the public. We have all our dogs are dual purpose, which means they serve a function. We have 4 that are narcotics detection dogs and 1 that's an explosive detection dog. And the dual purpose aspect is, they have either the narcotics job or the explosive detection job, and then they also do patrol work, which is your tracking, your suspect apprehension, or your area searches, your building searches, and all that patrol type work that they can do as well. We're not assigned to a specific area like the other patrol officers are. Joplin's broken up into 5 beats, and so if there are 5 officers, 1 assigned to each beat, we kind of roam the city. And our main function, is to assist them. If they call for us for assistance, we go and use the dog to search a car or search a house or do a track. But our main function is, we work on trying to deter narcotics within the city of Joplin. And so we work on tips, that are sent to the police department or come from other sources. So we try to work those as best we can when time allows. And if we're on something and one of the guys calls us, we try to get done with it and head over there. So we're always available whenever they need us. Our main work comes from the patrol officers, because they're out, wanting to get into stuff and make some arrests and get some bad people off the street. Often those people run and hide, and so we try to get there as quick as we can to help out. It's a big team effort. We wouldn't be successful without them, and I don't think they would be so successful without us too. So driving around looking for people with warrants, trying to find stolen cars and that kind of stuff, and helping the other officers out on their calls, when they need us, or if there's not a readily available backup unit, we'll swing in and help out. But the K9 unit, we talk amongst ourselves, with information that we share with everybody else. Like we hear there may be a stolen car here or a person with a felony warrant there, so we try to go locate those people and get them picked up.
But the landlord let him in. How did they walk in?
I love you.
I've been looking for you since I got the landlord let me in.
I love you from my heart.
Huh?
I love you from my heart.
I love you too. I've been looking for you since I got here.